expired. Senator Hassan's next, but Senator Whitehouse would like to just make a procedural
Yes,
request.
I omitted to ask to put into the record the letter that Chairman Grassley and I wrote to Secretary Bessent regarding the interim final rule, and if I may have that added to the record related to my questioning of Mr. Morrissey, I would appreciate
Without
it.
objection, so ordered. Senator Hassan.
Thank you much.
Thank you very much, Ranking Member Wyden, and good morning to all three of you. Mr. Barloon, Ms. Dillon, and Mr. Morrissey, congratulations to you and your families on your nominations, and thank you for being here today to answer our questions. I'm going to start with a question to each of you, to Mr. Barloon, Ms. Dillon, and Mr. Morrissey. If you are directed by the President to take an action that would violate the law, would you follow the law or follow the President's directive? Mr. Barloon.
Thank you, Senator. I do not anticipate that there would be such a situation, and certainly I will always follow the law.
Ms. Dillon.
I also do not expect to ever be faced with that situation, but I would follow the law.
And Mr. Morrissey.
Senator, my responsibility as General Counsel is to follow the law, and that is what the President expected of the Legal Division when I served in his first administration, and that's what I'm committed to if I were confirmed this time.
Well, thank you all for that commitment to follow the law. I will say, given events of the last several months, your expectations may be too high, but we'll leave it at that. Mr. Morrissey, I want to follow up on some of the questions that Senator Whitehouse was asking. Senator Whitehouse asked you whether you were clear on what 26 U.S.C. Section 7217 says about taxpayer privacy, among other things. But I want to make it clear to the American people what that section requires. So would it be legal for the President to order IRS employees to audit a particular person or a particular small business? For example, a New Hampshire small business owner who said something that the President didn't like.
Thank you, Senator. In any enforcement context, whether it's the IRS or otherwise, and whether it's an audit or otherwise, it's imperative that the only considerations that the IRS is considering are the facts and the evidence with respect to that taxpayer, and not any political considerations or...
But I'm going to stop you right there. The federal law is clear. It's illegal for the President to order an audit, isn't it?
Senator, on all of these enforcement questions, I'm committed to following the law. Yes.
All right. If the President attempted to direct the IRS to illegally audit an individual or a small business, would you advise Secretary Bessent not to comply and advise Treasury employees to report it to the Treasury Inspector General?
Senator, if any time there's an enforcement question and any time the department is considering enforcing federal law against the taxpayer, my advice is going to be that the only considerations that matter are the
I understand that, but that's not my question. The law is very clear. I actually have a copy of 26 U.S.C. 7217, and I'd ask for unanimous consent that it be entered. The law is very clear. It says it's illegal for the President or cabinet members to order an audit. There are exceptions if they're just a pass-through, right? But the President can't do it. And if a Treasury employee is asked by the President or Cabinet Secretary to do it, they are required by the law to report it. So are you going to enforce those provisions of the law and advise the employees that that's their obligation?
Senator, yes, I'm committed to enforcing the law and complying with the law. How it applies to a particular set of facts, I would need to know those facts, but the bedrock is impartiality enforcing the law.
I understand that, but the bedrock is also keeping political elected officials, the most powerful person in the world, the President, from wreaking havoc in an individual's life by ordering an audit because they don't like that person or they don't like that person's politics. So I want to know if you are willing to hold the President accountable to the law.
Senator, I agree, and the President has spoken very forcefully about taking politics out of law enforcement, and if I'm advising anyone at the IRS or the Treasury Department. That is the principle I'm going to be focused on.
Well, I'm
and
glad it's a
gonna-
principle you're focusing on. I will disagree with you that it is a principle that this president follows, because we are seeing one piece of evidence after the next that he is not following that principle and is in fact politicizing law enforcement and the rule of law in this country. Now, let me go on. I will say one other thing, which is I agree with Senator Whitehouse, too, about the importance of Treasury ramping up its sanction enforcement and working with us to make sure that as criminals and criminal entities get more and more creative, that we keep up with them in terms of our sanction tools and enforcement, because a lot of people are getting very, very wealthy from this illicit economy that Senator Whitehouse was talking about, and it is a real danger to this country. My third question I will ask for the record to Mr. Barloon. I'm sorry I didn't get to it. Thank you, Senator Wyden.